Seriously, don't ruin your Disney vacation by making these common Disney World mistakes. Hello and welcome to the Carousel of Douglas. Today we're going to talk about Disney mistakes. Everyone's made them. I've made them. Michelle's made them. My Disney-loving friends have made them. Now it's your chance to not make them. There are certain things that you really need to understand you don't want to do because it could actually make or break your Disney vacation. All right, we're going to get started. First, we're going to talk about the mistakes you can make even before going. Make sure, especially if you're staying on property, that you have the best deal you can possibly get. Disney hotels especially are expensive, and Disney constantly puts out deals. All you have to do is kind of go on their main page and scroll down to the bottom and you'll see an option for Disney deals or resort packages or trip deals. It's always down there at the bottom. They rename it from time to time, but what you need to do is you need to click on that and look and see what they've got. They will always offer deals. Now, look, you can book your package at rack rate earlier on in the year, but when they announce a deal and it crosses over the time you will be there, and inevitably it will happen, you can always call Disney. You're gonna have to call them that day. You're gonna sit on hold for a while, but it will save you so much money. Don't pay rack rate, especially for a Disney hotel. For the number 2 mistake you don't wanna make before you go is make sure you have your tickets. You have to buy them first. And once you have your tickets, make your park reservations. Park reservations must be done, and make sure you do them as soon as possible, especially if you're going in a busy time, because it can fill up faster than you think. The park reservation system isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Make sure you have your tickets. Make sure you make your park reservations. You don't want to show up to a park and be like, oh, let's go to Magic Kingdom today. Get there and realize you don't have that park reservation, because they will turn you away. That's currently what they're doing. Hopefully the park reservation system is temporary, but right now, you definitely make sure you make those park reservations. The final mistake you don't want to make before you go to Disney World is make your 60-day reservations. Now, I will tell you, it used to be a heck of a lot easier. They used to be at 180 days out, and a lot of people don't want to plan their Disney trip that far out. I did, because I'm crazy, but now it's only 60, and way more people are getting excited about their trip and making their plans. Dining reservations, especially certain things like Oga's Cantina. If you want to see what that experience is like, check out the video on my channel. You will love it. As well as things like Savi's Workshop. If we're staying in Galaxy's Edge, you need to make sure you book those 60 days out. If you have a tour you want to do, or especially your dining reservations. Certain places fill up right away. Right now, Space 220 is the hot ticket to get, and there's many restaurants that are about to reopen, like Jico, and that's probably gonna be packed. 60 days out. Make sure you're doing it. Get up early in the morning. It starts at 7 a.m. Eastern time, and you need to make sure, regardless of where you are, that you're up at the right time to get those 60-day reservations. Trust me, it's something you gotta do. One little tip I have for you with those dining reservations or any of those reservations, make the ones you really wanna do first, regardless of when they are on the week. Don't try to do it from the beginning of the week and work your way through. Make the ones you really wanna do first, because some of them at the beginning of your trip are not gonna be available. Try to put those near the end of your trip anyway. And then go for the easier ones to get for the beginning of your trip, because other people have already made their 60 days from their trip. Because you can do your entire trip from the first day of your trip once you're staying on property. So make sure you make those 60-day reservations. All right, you've made it to Disney World. You've missed all those other mistakes I talked about. Now that you're there, we're gonna continue talking about reservations. Be on time. Make sure you're on time. I know that sounds ridiculous, but if you make a reservation, make sure you're on time. Because there was an instance, and I'll put that video in right here, but now we're rushing to Oga's Cantina because we are late for our reservation. Little Disney tip, you have 15 minutes after your reservation to get on there, unless you can prove that you meant to be there. So we need to go take care of that right now. Yeah, we got there and we had to do all kinds of discussion with the cast members. Hey, look, we didn't mean to. We were stuck on Rise of the Resistance and we ended up, it was really, really tough to get back into Oga's. I'm glad we did, but don't be late because it'll be a real hassle. And also, they charge you per person if you miss it entirely. And that rate can really stack up if you have an entire family that misses that reservation. Make sure you do it. You have about a 15-minute window before and after to show up. But once you miss that window, it's really tough for them to get you in, okay? Don't be late to your reservations once you've got them. Here's one you don't hear very often. One of the things that you need to be able to think about when you're in Disney, especially when it's busy, is can I miss this or can I not miss this? You need to know which ones are your I must go on this and which ones are your, well, if it's too busy, I can miss that. In the Magic Kingdom, my example is very simple. I can not miss Pirates of the Caribbean. I might be able to miss Jungle Cruise. Take a look at the wait time on Jungle Cruise. If it's too long, it's really not worth waiting in that line, especially if it's hot. And Pirates of the Caribbean, I will wait in that line any day. It's mostly indoor, and on top of that, that ride's a classic. Jungle Cruise is also a classic, but I can miss that one. That may not be for you, but you need to think about that. In Epcot, I can't miss Spaceship Earth, but I might be willing to miss the Seas with Nemo and Friends because, well, while I like that ride, it doesn't really make me have to go to Epcot. But Spaceship Earth, as long as it's running, I will always ride that one. In Animal Kingdom, my question is, should I miss Expedition Everest or should I miss Cali River Rapids? And for me, it's not even a question. I will never miss Expedition Everest. But Cali River Rapids, I don't like being wet. And that's a thrill ride that's in the same kind of area. I'm not down with that, so I'm willing to miss that one. So you gotta think about the reasons why you might wanna miss it. And finally, in Hollywood Studios, we'll stay in Galaxy's Edge. In Galaxy's Edge, I'm not missing Rise of the Resistance. In my opinion, the best ride in Disney World. But, you know, if Smuggler's Run's a little long, I can understand missing that one. So you have to understand, what are you willing to miss? Smuggler's Run, while it's a great ride, it doesn't blow me away like Rise of the Resistance. So that's my reasoning there. So just think about what are you willing to miss and what are you not willing to miss and know what they are. Because you don't want to be waiting in line for a ride that you're willing to miss and then miss your chance at the ride that you weren't. So that's a big mistake that a lot of people make. Okay, here's one that kind of annoys people to tell them, but you need to follow rule number 1, cardio.
Rule number 1, cardio.
You need to do a lot of cardio to go to Disney World. I have had days where we walked 11 miles in one day, just walking around Epcot. Epcot's huge. Animal Kingdom is huge. You're walking around these places all day long. Now, unless you're using an ECV because you need one or because you want one, you're gonna be walking a lot. Me personally, I don't need to worry about it. I run a 5K every other day. It's the way I keep myself fit. But there's a lot of people out there who don't do that as their fitness. Make sure that you do cardio. Oh, a little side tip. One of the things that I'd recommend you do is make sure you have comfortable shoes. New shoes don't exactly mean good shoes. They may be great shoes later, but they're definitely not the right shoes to wear to Disney World on your days there because of how much walking you're gonna do. Make sure that your shoes are broken in, make sure you're comfortable. I have 2 things that I recommend. I either wear my Asics running shoes, which are great because I'm a pronator and I run on the outside of my feet, and they're great for all day walking as well as when I go running, even at the parks. But I also recommend my Tiva strap-on sandals. They're amazing. Michelle has some great shoes that she likes to wear too. I'll put some links down below what she likes, and you can check out those shoes. You just need to make sure you have shoes that do not bother your feet and do your cardio. You'll thank me later. All right, my next mistake you need to not make in Disney World is don't just eat chicken fingers and fries. I mean, if you're gonna go to Chicken Guy in Disney Springs, then by all means, eat chicken fingers and fries. Those are amazing. But don't go in the parks and just eat that simple Disney theme park food. Yes, they have chicken fingers and fries for those of you who have those extremely picky eaters. I'm not talking about picky eaters. I'm talking about people who are willing to take a little bit of a chance. Even the quick service restaurants have some amazing food that's a little bit outside of the box. Check those foods out. The sit-down restaurants are amazing. You're always gonna find great things, but seriously, Disney is a foodie heaven. I've got all kinds of reviews on all kinds of different restaurants and different places to eat. Don't just eat chicken fingers and fries. Go for that specialty burger. Go for that specialty cupcake. Make sure you check out like some kind of specialty fries or something that's got extra. Go to Casey's Corner and get one of their whacked out hot dogs. I mean, speaking of experimental, I mean, all you have to do is see what they've done to cheeseburgers. They have different kinds of cheeseburgers in different kinds of forms all over the parks. I mean, you have the cheeseburger pods in Animal Kingdom at Satuli Canteen, and you have like the cheeseburger spring rolls over there in Magic Kingdom at the Adventureland cart. I mean, that's just 2 examples of what they've done with cheeseburgers, but you should check those out. Don't just get chicken fingers and fries. Trust me, you will thank me later. The final mistake that I will tell people is know you and your children's limits. Know your family's limits. Know where people go, I can't do this anymore today. You need to know where that stuff is. And I'll tell you this, Michelle and I talk all the time about the 3 p.m. meltdown. The 3 p.m. meltdown is something we see regularly. We see children just in that moment where you could tell that even though they want to have fun, they are just way too tired. They've been up since 4 a.m. because they're excited. The parents have had them going all day, and you have the 2 parents yelling at each other and the kids just losing their minds. You need to know what your family's limits are. Now, Michelle and I, our limits are pretty good. We can go rope drop to park close, and we will do it over and over again because we are Disney pros who have been doing this a long time, get plenty of sleep, and we try not to do crazy things that would make us overly tired. We take our time walking places, but not everybody can do that. You need to know what you can do. And if your family needs to go back to the hotel to go swimming in the pool for a little while, there is nothing wrong with giving your kids a little bit of moment in the pool or your spouse a chance to go take a nap. In fact, we've done that recently where I actually needed to take a nap. For some reason, I had woken up at like 4 in the morning like some excited child, and Michelle was like, hey, you're starting to drag and get cranky. Let's go back to the hotel. You get a nap. Day went so much better. Know what your limits are, and you will not make that final Disney mistake when you're in Disney World. All right, folks, there you have it. There is our list of the mistakes you don't want to make in Walt Disney World. Absolutely trust me on this. Follow those tips and your Disney World trip will go so much better. We don't want you to walk away from that expensive trip to Disney World and go, man, I coulda, shoulda, woulda. That's what my mom used to call them, the coulda, shoulda, wouldas. Don't get them. All right, well, one of the things I'm going to ask you to do is one of the greatest ways to support this channel, especially if you like this video, is to hit that thumbs up button. When you hit that thumbs up button, you help out so much with the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you could pop that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. And leave a comment down below. Tell me one of the mistakes you've seen people make, or maybe a mistake you've made yourself. Know what you need to do at Disney to have a great time. We're always here to help you. And since we don't like to say goodbye because we're going to see you real soon, we say, see you bye.